The time, 1934. The place, a street in New York City.
Kidnap Doc Savage? Are you crazy?
You're not paid to ask questions, Leading. Just do it.
But better guys than us have died trying to nail Doc Savage, and he's put so many crooks behind bars, the news rags call him a one-man army fighting for justice.
Do-gooders make me tired.
He's more than just a do-gooder, Howard. They say he spends his whole life getting in the way of guys like us. No wonder anybody plotting something tries to put him out of the picture first.
Forget that. Now just figure out how to get it. You know what he looks like?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen his mug in the papers a couple of times. His skin and hair look like metal. Yeah, bronze. They say it got that color from him gallivanting all over the world looking for adventure.
Well, then he shouldn't be hard to spot. I've heard he's well over 6 feet tall with muscles like Hercules.
I don't know, Howard. He don't seem big so much. More like powerful.
That's just a front. They say he was raised by scientists on a special program trying to turn him into a physical and mental Superman. And he learned secrets from Hindu mystics, South Sea pearl divers, African hunters, and he keeps in shape with daily exercises of all of it. Super eyesight, super hearing, doing mathematical formulas in his head. You know, a lot of hooey.
What if it worked?
Never mind that. Now just figure out how to get it.
Okay. But where do I find him?
I don't know. And I've heard he works out of a fabulous headquarters in the highest skyscraper in the city. But he isn't seen in public often.
No wonder.
Maybe if you tail one of his sidekicks, they'll lead you to him.
Oh, yeah. Them 5 guys who always pal around with. One's a big-shot chemist. One's a hot-shot lawyer.
Right. And another's a crack engineer. And one's a famous archaeologist. And the last, they say, is an electrical genius.
Hey, what if they get in the way when we try to put the snatch on Savage? Do we bring them all?
Nix. All we're getting paid for is keeping Savage out of the way for a while.
Who wants him out of the way?
Never mind. You want your dough, earn it. Now get out of here. And don't come back until you've got Doc Savage.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Lasers!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, Kidnapped, Chapter 1 of the fantastic story, Fear Key.
Good morning, Mr. Savage. Nice day.
Yes, it is, officer.
Out for your afternoon constitutional?
In a way.
Well, I suppose with all the adventure you see, a nice, peaceful walk is something of a luxury. Taking your mind off work, that is.
You could say that.
Well, I won't be taking up any more of your time. Good day to you, Mr. Savage.
Oh, officer, is this your wallet on the sidewalk?
What's that?
I say... What? Gas!
Let me through. I'm a doctor.
Badora, what's going on here?
This man has been stricken with heart failure.
But I was just talking to him not more than 10 seconds ago.
Maybe, but we've got to rush him to the emergency hospital to save his life. Give me a hand.
Say there's luck. There's a taxi at the curb.
Yeah, convenient.
Into the cab with him now.
Thanks, officer. I can take care of him from here.
Nothing doing. I'm going along with you.
Is that necessary?
This big bronze guy is Doc Savage, no less. And I'm going to see that he gets the best. Driver, head for the emergency hospital. When we get there, I'll make a call to Doc Savage's headquarters and tell him his sidekicks what's happened.
You won't tell nobody nothing, Flatfoot. Okay, Shorty, take off. You know where to go.
Right.
When that cop piled in the car, I figured we were sunk, Leaking.
Well, we don't need to worry about him now. Where we dumped him, he'll have a nice long walk home.
Howard is sure paying enough to have us pinch this bronze guy. Any idea what the shyster has up his sleeve?
Nah, and I don't care.
Lucky Howlett's office is near the service elevator. I don't think I could drag this big guy much farther.
Here we are. Drop him.
I'll open the door.
Who's that?
Me! Leaking!
I thought I told you not to come back until you got Doc Savage.
What do you think this is, shyster? Whitewash?
Holy. It is Doc Savage.
Well, you wanted him, didn't you?
Yes, but how did you do it?
I dropped a fake wallet on the street with a gadget in it that threw gas in his face when he opened it. Put him down there, Shorty.
I never thought you'd get him that easy.
Yeah, but he sure is as big as they say. I'm sweating like a stuck pig. You're always sweating. That's why they call you Leaking. Leaking? Never mind that. So, Howlett, here he is. What do we do now?
I'll tie him up and keep him like we were told. I'll get some rope.
Okay, Shorty, you can go. Thanks, Leaking. I don't want to be around when the big guy comes too. He ain't so much. Just the same. See you later.
Here's some strong rope. Let's get him trussed up before he comes around.
You're a little too late, gentlemen.
What? Oh, he's got me by the throat. Oh, me too. Put us down.
Just as soon as I find out what weapons you may have.
Hey, you're shaking us apart.
That's what I wanted to find. An automatic and a .38.
Okay, so you got our guns. Now what?
Now, gentlemen, you're going to take a little nap on the sofa.
Ah.
I hope you have hard heads. And you conveniently supplied me with a rope. There. That should hold you for a while. Monk, you and Ham get over to the Chandler Building, 20th floor. Office of a lawyer named Hallett. Hallett and another man named Leaking have tried to abduct me off the street. You'll find them trussed up on the office sofa. You know what to do with them. Now, let's find out what this is all about. Come, gentlemen. I knocked your skulls together just hard enough to keep you out for only a moment.
Oh, hit me. No, Doc Savage. It wasn't a dream.
Not at all. Now, I want some answers. You went to a great deal of trouble to seize me off the street. Why?
I thought that wallet gag was foolproof. I figured that gas would keep you out for days.
The gas never had any effect on me in the first place.
What?
You underestimate my powers of observation. When you dropped that trick wallet, I saw you.
You mean you picked it up knowing it was a trick?
I picked it up most carefully, if you had noticed. There were two logical things to suspect, a poisoned needle or gas. To avoid a needle, I didn't open the wallet in the usual manner, and to checkmate the gas, I merely held my breath until the vapor had dissipated.
But why?
Why pretend to be overcome? Merely to find out what your game was. Now I repeat, why did you seize me?
Hallett told me to. I don't know why he wanted you, but he gave me a C note to do it.
Well, then, we'll question Mr. Hallett.
What happened?
He's wise to us, Hallett.
Not completely. I want to know why you paid Mr. Leaking here to abduct me. Won't talk, eh? Well, if you won't talk, out the window you go.
No, wait. No. No. Wait. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything.
That's better. All right, Hallett, let's hear it.
We were hired. We were to get $10,000 for grabbing you and holding you, where no one could find you for 2 weeks.
So someone wants me out of circulation for 2 weeks. Who?
I don't know.
Window is still open.
Fountain of Youth. Fountain of Youth Incorporated hired me.
And just who is Fountain of Youth Incorporated?
Well, it was handled in a roundabout way. I got a phone call with the proposition to seize and hold you. The party who called said there was no need of us ever seeing each other. In fact, it would be better if we didn't. The only name I got was Fountain of Youth.
Why did this Fountain of Youth Incorporated want me held?
I asked that, but they said there was no need for me to know.
Does Fountain of Youth have an office?
Yes, room 1402, Queen Tower Building. I had their phone traced, too. The same address.
So, you were curious about this mysterious Fountain of Youth also.
Do you blame me for trying to get a line on them?
Well, thanks for the information, Mr. Hallett. Two of my assistants, Monk Mayfair and Ham Brooks, will be up here shortly. They'll deal with you. Oh, by the way, Mr. Hallett, Ham Brooks is a lawyer himself, and I'm sure he'll take measures to see that you're disbarred. That should be Monk and Ham now.
Think again, Savage. Get them hands up.
Hey, Shorty.
I come back 'cause Leaking forgot to pay me. Then I hear this Savage guy pumping you, so I had me rod ready.
Good work, Shorty. Cut us loose.
No, wait. Just give us your knife. Keep that gun on Savage.
Right. Here.
Quick, Leaking. Cut the rope.
Yeah. Watch Savage, Shorty.
Don't worry, he's covered. Back against the wall, Bronze Man.
I don't think I plan to stick around, Shorty.
Get back, Savage. I got this gap pointed right at your chest.
Wait. Doc Savage always wears a bulletproof vest. Aim at his head. His head!
Too late!
Shoot him again!
He's heading for the window.
He's jumping!
Where'd he go? Was there a rope or something in here he could have used to slide down to the ground?
Funny stories. Besides, the only rope was the one he used to tie us.
It'd take a fly to stick to that wall. I always did hear this Doc Savage ain't quite human.
Shut up. Search the office. That bronze guy's got to be here somewhere.
Yes?
This is a Fountain of Youth Incorporated. Has our little project been concluded?
Well, sorta.
I don't understand.
Oh, we got Doc Savage, but he escaped.
Carniff! How could you be so stupid?
But you're not...
Never mind. Come into the office of a Fountain of Youth. I know you are aware of its address. If I'm not here to give you mindless dole's orders, there will be an envelope under the blotter on my desk with the directions inside. See that you do not bungle them as badly as you've already done.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Since you are so curious about our organization, I will tell you my name. It is Santini.
Just Santini.
That is enough. Come to Fountain of Youth, now!
Who is that, Hallett?
A guy named Santini from Fountain of Youth. He said we're to get over there right away.
Why didn't you tell him what he could do with his kidnapping idea? Trying to nab Savage is worth more than we're getting.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Leaking, there's a $10,000 bonus waiting for us at the Fountain of Youth.
Well, that's different. Let's set sail. What about Savage? Where'd he go?
I'll forget about that for now. It won't be hard to find him again. Come on.
Look, there's two guys coming up the stairs. Holy cow, what a pair.
One of them looks like a gorilla. And check out the clothes on the other. What a dude.
They're the two that Savage said would be coming. I've seen their pictures in the papers. The ape-like one is Monk Mayfair. The fashion plate is Ham Brooks, the lawyer.
They're coming to this office.
Get back inside. Get your rods ready.
Here's the office, Shyster. Doc says they'd be tied up inside.
Well, what are you waiting for, you dumb missing link? Open the door.
Look out!
I guess they ain't tied up after all.
Any sign of Doc?
No. Got your super machine pistol?
Of course. I always carry it.
Loaded with Doc's anesthetic mercy bullets?
As always.
Oh, good. Let's give it to him. Think we got any of them?
No, you hairy freak. And why'd you shove your face through the door so fast?
Oh, who told me to? Besides, I wanted to see if Doc was in there. And if you keep calling me names, I'll shove you out there with them red hots and get a shot at you.
Where could Doc have gone?
I suppose you dope it out with that great legal brain of yours while I try to wing one of them birds.
Wait! What's that rolling down the hall?
Tear gas! Run!
Where?
Down the stairs! If you'd have kept your noisy trap shut, I would have heard them throw that crybaby canister.
One of these days, I'm going to see if there's a man under that hairy hide. Listen, upstairs.
They're getting into the freight elevator. Come on! Here's the door on the floor. Give me your cane.
Why?
I'm going to use the sword inside it to loosen the lock on the elevator door. If we can pry it open, the car will stop between floors.
Let you ruin my sword? Let me do it.
Okay, Shyster, but get to it. I'll shove on the door. There they go. Hurry up. That did it. Car stopped a couple of floors down.
They could still shoot up through the grilled roof of that cage. Keep back.
Well, what do we do now?
Let them go.
Doc! Where'd you go, Doc?
I slid from the office window down to the window below, Monk, using the collapsible grappling hook I always carry. Now let the doors close.
But, Doc, how come?
If we tried to jump down on the cage, they'd have the advantage, Ham. Besides, I want to find out what this is all about. And since I think they'll head for the Queen Tower building, we'll trail them there.
What's at the Queen Tower building?
The office of the Fountain of Youth, Incorporated.
What the deuce is the Fountain of Youth Incorporated?
The company that hired them to abduct me. Come on, I have a cab waiting downstairs.
Here we are, Queen Tower building.
Hey, Doc, look at that funny little duck over there. Dressed as spiffy as the shyster here. Derby, spats, red sash. Did that mustache. Must be 3 inches long on each side. Head skinny as a pencil. Pretty elegant.
No more elegant than the pearl-handled automatic he's pulling out of his coat.
Look out!
After him!
He's heading into the building.
He's running out the back to the alley.
There he goes. Get him.
No use. He's got a car waiting.
That was some machine. Looked like it had bulletproof windows and solid rubber tires.
Back inside. Let's find out who he was. Doorman, who was that?
That was Mr. Santini, sir.
And who is Mr. Santini?
He's the president of Fountain of Youth.
Mr. Santini seems to know us by sight.
That doesn't mean anything, you accident of nature. Doc's picture often appears in newspapers and magazines.
Nobody but you would think of that, shyster.
The thing that puzzles me most is why these men should be so anxious to get us out of the way.
Perhaps the office of Fountain of Youth Incorporated will yield an answer.
Perhaps. Let's try it.
Here's the office, Doc. Should we barge right in?
Wait a moment.
Using your super hearing on the door, huh, Doc?
Seems to be no one inside.
Locked.
That's never stopped us before. Got your lockpick, Doc?
In my pocket. Come on.
Boy, some digs. Leather furniture, rich carpeting, even the latest automatic typewriters and dictaphones.
That door over there says it's Santini's office.
Wow, even plusher. This Santini does all right for himself. Look at the size of that desk.
More interesting is the crumpled envelope on the desk.
What's so interesting about that envelope, Doc?
It's moist, Ham, as if crumpled by a perspiring palm.
So?
One of the fellows who grabbed me was called Leaking, probably because of some affliction which makes him perspire a great deal. Only a man who sweats freely would have damp palms on a day like this.
So those guys have been here.
Let's take a look in the desk.
Hey, Doc. Looks like someone wrote something on the top sheet of this pad of paper and then tore it off.
Wait a moment.
Got something on your equipment vest that'll bring out the impression of the writing?
I think so, Monk. We'll try this liquid.
Looks like blood.
Iodine vapor. It brings out impressions left by pencil points.
It's coming. Let's see. Kel Avery, due in on 8 o'clock plane from Florida, must be prevented from communicating with Doc Savage. Grab Avery and hold for me. Santini. Boy, now we're getting places.
But Leaking and Hallett beat us here, Doc. They have the message, too.
What are we going to do?
It's 5 o'clock. That gives us 3 hours before the Florida plane bearing this Kel Avery arrives. Let's look around a little more.
We know that thrilling sound, Doc. It means you found something really interesting.
What is it, Doc?
Some very intriguing files, Ham. Look at the names on them.
Fascinating.
For the love of mud! They look like a who's who of all the town's money bags.
Yes, an index of the richest men in New York City. And there are other files of wealthy individuals listed by states.
Every rich man in America. Wonder what it means.
Interesting. The files give not only the man's name and the probable size of his fortune, but also his age and the state of his health.
I think I get it, Doc.
Yes.
Get what?
I'll explain, stupid. The phone.
Do we answer it?
I've only heard Hallett's voice for a few moments, but I think I can imitate it.
The office of Fountain of Youth, Incorporated.
Perfect, Doc.
Cale Avery can be found at 1120 Fish Lane.
But I thought Kel Avery
was on a plane bound for New York? You are mistaken. Cale Avery is at 1120 Fish Lane.
Who is this? Connection isn't very good.
You never heard my voice before, Mr. Hallett.
Then who are you? You know my voice.
You take care of Cale Avery. I'll explain who I am later.
Who was that, Doc?
It was the strangest voice, Monk. Indescribably young and joyful.
What'd he say?
He seemed to know all about this business, Ham. He knew enough to call Fountain of Youth. He knew who Hallett was. He knew about the Florida flight. And he said that Kel Avery is not on that plane.
Who is the mysterious stranger who seems to know so much about the abduction of Doc Savage? What is the Fountain of Youth Incorporated? And why do they want Doc and his aides out of the way? Don't miss The Hanging Man, Chapter 2 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Douglas Kohler, William Irwin, and Bob Farley. Also heard were Michael McConaughey, Scott McKenna, Glenn Shaddix, and Bob Lyne. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.